Oh, good afternoon. But it's really not going to matter what part of the day it is because you'll get it at different times. Like sometimes maybe you might be like me. Sometimes you just can't go to sleep. And so therefore you get yourself up and do something. So maybe you're putting me in your ear. I could put you to sleep pretty good. I got a headache today. I don't usually have a headache. There's a couple of things. And I haven't even started like I'm supposed to. It's the 23rd of March, 2025. And this is Mary Lou, commonly known as Lou. And I like to touch people. I like to touch their spirits. And yes, I'm a toucher too. Sometimes I find myself putting my hands on people. And I've been told that I've electrified. Anyway, okay, so where was I? See, I won't remember when I go back to the beginning. There was something going on in my head. What was it? I was just looking at Romans 2. Since I read that last, I thought I might go ahead and see how many verses there are. There's 29 verses. I don't know, but I do believe that these are letters, okay? My memory kind of sucks sometimes, especially if something's really complicated. In Romans 1, I had a hard time with. I had to read some of it over and over again, trying to understand what they were saying. And that's what you got to do when you're reading the scriptures. If you really want to know, don't let something confusion stopping you. Sometimes you do have to go right over the top of it so you can keep going. But sometimes it's important what they're trying to say. And you just can't figure it out because they are talking different than us. They're 2,000 years ago, people. And I'm not exactly sure when these letters were written, but it's not giving a time frame. And I'm thinking that I bet it's after Jesus has been resurrected and he's gone. He's done and left the scene, man. He's saying, you guys take care of it. I got other things to do. I came here, I showed you, I told you, I explained, I showed you some more. And they, if you watch The Chosen, in The Chosen, they're learning lessons by doing, which is the same thing we do. We have to learn lessons. The only way you can really learn it is by experiencing it. Try to get a glare off my eyeballs. But anyway, I get carried away and I don't remember what I started this video with as far as what I was going to say. I know that I'm going to do me some ivermectin today. And I thought, well, I don't know that I should do that as part of Romans 2. But I thought I would read Romans 2. I'm not sure if I'll continue on, but there's like 16 of those, seem like. So we'll just see how it goes. Sometimes there's some real important information in these things. They are teaching. They are giving a higher teaching to the people they've already brought into the church. Okay? So they're sending these letters out to people, but people of the church. Meaning, they have been taught, they believed, and were baptized. And so there's more teaching going on, okay? They only got like the basics. So in these letters, we might find out some stuff. Now, at church, in my lifetime in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there's always continual learning. And they have institute classes, which is higher learning. And when you go to seminary, you've got concentrated learning. I took 4 years of seminary, but there was only an hour a day, okay? When I lived in Utah, it was like part of the curriculum, is that what you call it? It was an elective. I elected to take seminary, but I was able to do it right there with school without having to get up an hour early and going somewhere else. It might have been more than an hour early because we had to get up early. The class was an hour and we had to have travel time before school. Travel time to get to the class and travel time to get to the school. So it was really great. In Utah, it was like walk across the street to a little building adjacent to the high school, and it was the seminary building. It was really, really wonderful. I mean, a lot of kids don't know what they're doing, don't really want to be there, they're just there. And I was definitely into learning, but I wanted to know answers. And so they had to search for those answers. And I had some teachers tell me, I'm not sure if it was more than one, I think it probably was, knowing me, as I was told that they learned more that year than they did under normal circumstances because I pushed them. I pushed for answers. And I had questions. I wasn't just there, taking what they're teaching us. I wanted more. So, an institute class, what that is like, it's usually like a class during the week. It might just be once a month or it might be every week. I bet it's once a month. And higher learning is going on there. And I don't know how to exactly tell you that, but when you're first a babe in the church, you're just learning different things. You know that you believe in him, and you know that you want to follow him, and you believe, you've got this burning inside. You want to join with his church. Now, back then, he was there, okay? And then his apostles who lived with him and roamed with him, they went out to teach. So they were firsthand knowledge, and Jesus was still there. So anyway, they're taking care of the churches afterwards, sending out letters of instruction and stuff. For those of you who don't realize it, a true Christian is someone who believes in Jesus Christ and wants to live their life like him. In fact, they need to live their life like him. It's not always easy to do. Greed. Greed is something we all deal with, I'm pretty sure. Some form of it. There's just in our daily decisions that we have to make. The church has a slogan: choose the right. When a choice is laid before you, choose the right. Then that kind of goes with my dad's, I'm going to call it a slogan, okay? Because he said it all the time. Turn right and go straight. It's a powerful little sentence there. And it's not always easy to do. But turn right and go straight. And just like I don't know who did it first, but I got a feeling the church did. And I can't remember the prophet's name. He was famous for saying, do it. And that little check mark thing, like it's on Nike. Seems like that's around the same thing. I wish I could remember who it was. But my dad may not be famous, but that's his expression. Turn right and go straight. And another one that he said was, if you will do your best, the Lord will do the rest. Now, that's a very profound statement because it's true. I mean, really true. Past this world true. If you guys were to search through all my videos, you will come across something that talks about a Urim and Thummim. I'd look those up. In fact, I need to look those up. Wonder how many would show up. Use the word Urim and Thummim on Lose Touch. I learned a lot about that Urim and Thummim. Partly in a vision. For real, it's a vision. I've told about it in that video, I'm sure. Or one of those videos. I'm not sure how many I've used that word. But Urim and Thummim is a very important thing. And in the end, many years from now, more than just many years from now, you know, it's a long time from now, everyone who goes into the celestial kingdom will be given their very own. It says in the scriptures, tiny stone. But when you put different scriptures together that you've read, they go together. You find out that that tiny stone is a Urim and Thummim. And with that Urim and Thummim, because of the dream that I had, I know this for a fact. I know you couldn't really say for a fact, but I will believe it as a matter of fact. With that Urim and Thummim, you know everything. I had been studying and trying to figure out things. And I was trying to figure out how God created this world. And then I was trying to figure out how are we going to create a world, because I'd been taught that in the way distant future, if you make it, you can create your own world and you can propagate it. I don't know how that's going to work because you need millions and millions and millions of children. I can't imagine having them, you know, because that would hurt. So there's got to be a better way than the way we do labor down here. You know, maybe spirits are easy to push out. And how long is gestation and all that stuff, you know. Anyway, it's just something that, you know, makes you wonder. But not you guys, because you don't know. But the Urim and Thummim is what Joseph Smith used to translate the Book of Mormon from golden plates. I'm not sure if they were all golden, because I know that one book had 24 gold plates, and I believe that was ether. That's what it was written on, these little plates of metal in a foreign language that nobody could understand. And with that record, I'll say I'm back to the Book of Ether, okay? Because in the Book of Mormon, and I'm not sure exactly where, they found these records. They found these records of a civilization that had died off many years ago, you know, many years before them. And the language, they couldn't read it. But they knew of a man who had the power, the gift from God, to be able to translate foreign language by use of the Urim and Thummim, a gift from God. He had to hold the high priesthood, way high priesthood, I imagine. I mean, translating, wow. That's what you call a seer. That's what they call these stones. Now, the ones Joseph Smith used, I haven't seen them, okay, but I believe it's 2 stones. And they were in a breastplate. And I'm not sure, if he just looked at the record and could just read it. But that's the way it was, really. He had a scribe, so he read the book and someone else wrote it while he was reading it. And as they came across things that they didn't understand, they would go out and pray to the Lord to find out what does this mean? And by the time they'd finished the Book of Mormon, maybe even before, I'm not sure. But the point was, every time there came up something like an ordinance, the baptism, the laying on of hands for the gift of the Holy Ghost. These are powers that are transferred to somebody, and they have to have the power to begin with to be able to transfer it. Now, I know I skipped away from what I was talking about. I was talking about Joseph Smith translating this record, what they call the Book of Mormon. It's not like the old people in the church that were trying to translate languages from one language to another, and they would guess, and they would try to find a word that fit just right, or this or that, But Joseph Smith did not have that problem, because he had the Urim and Thummim, and he had the gift from God to be able to use it. But I had been wondering how in the world, I know I keep using that word, how in the world could God create a world? I mean, really, think about it. It's amazing, okay? So how in the world are we going to do that? Okay, so in my dream, I graduated, and I was headed into the celestial kingdom. And I received my tiny stone, which is a Urim and Thummim. I know it is. I received that stone in my dream. And the second it touched my skin, I knew everything there was to know. I mean, it was like thoughts flying in my brain all over the place. But I was deep asleep. I shot out of a deep sleep after that. And pretty much right after that, because I couldn't handle all that knowledge in my brain. What I learned, though, is, like my dad said, you do your best, and the Lord will do the rest. Okay, so I've considered that tiny stone, okay, that's what we're going to build our world with. But with that stone, I think, this is Mary Lou talking, okay, I think it's pre-programmed with everything you need. Like a turnkey operation, but it uses your brain. I just stabbed myself with my nail. But it uses your brain and stuff. I mean, it's yours. This Urim and Thummim is yours. I know you're thinking, what in the world is she talking about? Even you members of the church are probably saying, what are you talking about? I got the knowledge from that dream. It was amazing. But the point is, there's no way that we could do it on our own. Go out and create a world. And some of us worry about getting enough knowledge and retaining it and all that stuff in order to be ready for that. I mean, how could you be ready to create a world and to be the God of that world and to have all them children and raise them up right? You think about it. Anyway, I find that humorous. But the point is, that dream, in my mind's eye, was a vision. And it was an answer to my prayers. Because I really was praying hard about that. I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't fathom it. And so it taught me, don't sweat the small stuff. Do the best you can. Just do the best you can always. And then get the gift of the Urim and Thummim and put the two of you together. Now, I read, I'm not even sure where I read it now, I read somewhere else that God lives on a sea of glass. And he gets knowledge up through that sea of glass to do with all his creations. Worlds without number has he created. Now, I'm going to skip a little bit more. Worlds without number. I did a Sunday school class, and I was trying to demonstrate how each of us have our own world. I mean, really, each individual person, you have your own world. Understand what I'm saying? All the people that you know, all the things that you do, where you live, what is your environment like, all that you include within yourself, around yourself, and getting in a car and going to another place, talking to people, like going to church and visiting with those people and learning with like-minded people. That is part of your world. Going to the laundromat to clean your clothes, part of your world. Going to Walmart if that's where you choose to shop. The whole point is all the things that you do and the people you know, people you associate with are a part of your world. So each one of us has that. We have our own little world. And then you find out, especially in smaller areas, because there's not as many people, you find out that there's a few other people in the realm that know the same people you do. And so those worlds kind of collide, but they don't collide, they join. Because you might have a friend out here that you visit all the time, and she's got a different friend if she visits all the time. And so by way of this person, that person's joined in. And this person who is your friend is also sharing. She's sharing things that you have taught her by way of experience, by way of just talking, lecturing, sometimes lecturing. But are you getting my drift at all? Worlds without number. See, he's also created worlds without number out there. So they said that his first creation is called Kolob, and it's nigh unto his kingdom. It's the first creation. And I don't know if you would call it his and his wives. One wife. He might have more, I don't know. The point is, his creation. And we believe in eternal marriage. And so if two become one, it stands to reason that that world is made by you and your wife. But if it's massive, I don't know. Because they say a lot of us helped create this earth. There was a great plan put in motion. And then this earth was created for us to come and inhabit and to learn. I'll stop there. I don't think I'll stop there. You know I can't stop. So we're dealing with this world here and time since Adam and Eve down. And people and their different rules. When Jesus came, he changed the 10 Commandments into 2 commandments. Get away from that chair, I guess is what that is. Anyway, the 10 Commandments. We switched it down to 2 commandments and said that if you obeyed those 2 commandments, then you don't need to worry about being told about the rest. Okay? So it's love, love, love. I've told you guys that before a long time ago. I don't know, it's probably a year ago. All you need is love, like the Beatles say, you know. It's true. So anyway, the first commandment is love the Lord thy God with all thy mind, might, and strength. And have no other gods before him. I don't remember the rest, but that one just popped in my head. And it's true, you know, because what's your gods? Guess what? If you are addicted to something, that addiction is your God. Whether it be alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, meth, mushrooms, opium, heroin, pain pills, anything that you seek after and that's all you think about becomes a God in front of God. I guess that might be why they want us to not do all these things, you know. First of all, you got to be able to live, and you got to provide for your family, and you've got a certain amount of responsibility. And all you people out there having sex willy-nilly and bringing babies into the world think you can just throw them away. Well, you're sadly mistaken. And you're throwing away your babies. You don't want to do that. It's important. There's people up there waiting to come down to you and your mate, but you're messing it up. Sad situation. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. I got off kilter there. But it's so true. We don't even know what we're doing. When you do things like that, it is a grievous sin. Yes, you people who cause those pregnancies, especially the one where rape and incest and things like that are a part of it. But we shouldn't be having sex because it's meant for, okay, everyone get all mad. Don't do it. In the bigger scheme of things, in the bigger picture of things, you want to save yourself for your mate. And you don't want to be having lost babies here, there, and everywhere. And you know what? There comes a time when you can't have babies. Oh, wait. Oh, I've got to do this, or I've got to do that. No, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do this and that and the other thing. Because I've got to develop my talents, right? And then you go to try and have a baby. And you find that it's too late. You're not able. Your fertile time is over. And then you You do what you can to be able to have a baby, and these days, a lot of times it works. Imagine that drove some people crazy, just wondering if the pregnancy's gonna work and if the baby's gonna live and be okay, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I didn't mean to talk about all that. How far am I? I'm at 30 minutes. I wonder if I should quit. Maybe I should just do 30-minute ones instead of an hour. I need to learn how to do podcasts and figure out, I need to talk to some people. And I know there's some people been trying to get a hold of me, wanting me to, what they're really doing is selling their formula. Because it's true. There's ways I could be making money if I just knew how to do it. And they're trying to talk to me about that, how they can help me get, a 6-figure income. But still, what I've got to do is find a way to get all my people, all my subscribers, okay? Get all of you people to tell one other person about me. Especially if you go through my older videos and you find that my papers that I wrote were really good and you want to share them with a friend, share them with a friend and bear your testimony about me. Because if you just share something, they're not going to look at it. But if you find something that really fits, and it fits something that they need, you share me. And you advise them to subscribe. Subscribe and hit that bell. I'm at 330. That number seems to go up, one, down, one. And so I'm not sure if one that got off of it decided to get back on it, or sometimes I think that might be it. But nevertheless, I need to get over 1,000 subscribers. That's what they said. You don't start making money until after you have 1,000 subscribers. But then I don't know what that means. But I know that if you have 1,000 subscribers and at least maybe 300 of them look at your videos every day, that adds up. I got to take a class. I'm not really wanting to take a class, but that's what I need to do. I need to learn what it is that I need to do. And I know that one thing is, I've got my cards. I made these cards. I figured out what I wanted on them. And I really, really like them. But I haven't been giving them away. I have started giving them away. Whenever I get a chance, like if I am at the store and I have an interaction with somebody and it's a pleasant one and stuff, I get my card out and tell them about my channel. And ask them to please check it out, And like this one guy just gave a card too. I told him, I said, Jesus is there, and so is marijuana. And he liked that, okay? But it's the truth. I believe that God gave us that herb. And I really wish that this world we're living in could quit trying to make everybody live by our rules. Who made the rule? And look at the detrimental effects of that rule, enforcing that rule. People, haven't we gone far enough by now that we know better? You can't force another person to do. And so then what do? You throw them in prison? So you pay for their living? Even if they're living in prison, it costs money. Yeah, they do get them to go out and work. It's awful cheap labor. But I'm looking at the detrimental thing about their life. Because we're here to learn. We're here to do. We're here to accomplish. have marriages, have families, have children, you know. Children before the family, whatever. A lot of our lessons are learned right there in the family. You're jabbering on. I've got 2 crackers left and I need to take my ivermectin. And since I've gone so far and I haven't read yet, I'll just do this one as a visit. My intention was to read, but I do need to take some ivermectin. And I've done really good and not had headaches, and now all of a sudden I've had a headache last 2 days. You know, not horrible. I'm putting you down. See if it works. There. Do. Oh well. I don't know. All I know is I need to take some ivermectin and I forget. I'm really forgetful. So, I think that was one of the side effects of metformin. And then I watched something today, earlier. You know, there's so many gimmicks. You just don't know. But you definitely want to try when there's something that promises better help. And I do believe in Dr. Barbara O'Neill, so hopefully she wouldn't lead me astray. But see, they can use all these people, and they can even make mouth movements like it's them talking when it isn't. So it's just weird. Just don't know what to believe out there. Same with all those imposters, you know, they're using AI to make it look like it's so-and-so talking when they're not. My hair's so thin. It's even thinner looking when it's got some more oil in it. And I finally found my clips, so I've got my hair clipped. Hopefully it won't be all stringy and falling in front. Yeah. Okay. That was a really good question this morning. Okay, I gotta quit that. I was listening to what was going on out in the hallway. Okay, so the syringe, the blue part, was as long as this whole thing. Okay, so now it's about half. And I need to document the fact that I'm doing it today. Today's the 23rd of March. And since I've got some crackers left, I'm gonna, because that's what I do, is I put this in my mouth and then I put a cracker in after. Now see, that's sucked way down in there. You probably can't tell, but it is. It's sucked down there a little bit. I was trying to put an angle on it so you can see. So when I do this, I'm gonna have to go down a ways. I don't know if that's enough. I want to make sure I get plenty. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now the problem is, once I put that cracker in my mouth, I'm gonna be turning away. But I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna put in my mouth. Okay, here we go. So you can see it there. Got it all over my mouth. Alright, so I'm turning away with a cracker. Okay. Hmm. Okay. All right. I think I need to mark it in my diary here or something. You know, I do have something like that. Anyway, March 23rd. I took a good dose. I'll wait and eat the rest of the cracker later. Okay, so it's already 41 minutes. Let me show you my card. I know, I've done it once before, but you know, there's a menagerie of videos, and you guys are not going to go find them all. I think I have 940. So, I mean, I put YouTube TV on, or not TV, but YouTube on the TV. Then I put on my channel. And it just keeps playing my videos. But it's just like a random thing. I think if a person was knowledgeable, knew what to do, you should be able, especially subscribers, you should be able to go back to my very first video and watch them all. I'm not saying all of them are all that great, you know, but they don't hurt. I had 20 papers that I wrote starting 43 years ago. I was 27. I just, the right circumstances were there. Okay, because I was living up on a mountain. Let me see if I can figure this out. I was living up on a mountain on 500 acres. My daughter was in kindergarten. I moved up there to help a girl be able to pay the bills and stuff. And not knowing that a whole bunch of bikers spend a lot of time up there. Not knowing that there was a drug going on I wasn't aware of because I was into pot. I just was into pot. Okay. I didn't know all these other things. So, the girl that I moved up there with, within a month, she found a boyfriend and moved out and left me with all the bills. And I couldn't afford that. I mean, I moved up there to help her pay the bills, not to have to pay them all. And I gave up a really great little situation. It's such a long story. I had been living with mom and dad, and I had just moved out into a little one-bedroom house, me and Jessica, and she was in kindergarten, and we were living in Camas, Washington. But anyway, that was quite an experience, going up to that place. And then I found out later on other things about that place, you know, like this guy that I was so obsessed by was actually living up there beforehand. I didn't know. And in the backyard, basically, remember it's 500 acres and they run cattle. But up on the hill, once a year, they have this big motocross race. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What was my point of telling you about that place? Oh, okay, so this guy, he's the one that was a wizard, a warlock, whatever you want to call the male part. He's one that told me he thought I was a witch. Just because of things. Because I have power. I have power from God, not from the devil. And maybe a bunch of you will get upset about that because maybe you think that that power just is something you've harnessed. Don't forget the devil's here. Don't forget that he's got 1/3 of the host of heaven with him. Meaning he's not, there's not just one little devil. There's like 1,000,000 trillion of them, it seems, you know. Probably enough for us to have 5 each or something. I'm just saying that. But just think about all the people who have been on this earth and will still be, because we're not done yet. But you put all those people together and divide them in half, that's going to give you 1/3 of the host of heaven. Because the spirits that came down here with Satan never got to have a body. They chose against it. They fought against God. So anyway, that's a hell of a lot of them. Maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. That's a whole heaping helping of demons. It's not funny. They don't get to come and get a body. They're not very happy about it. So I was going to read you my card. That's what I was going to do. I did. I worked hard on this card. Let me show it to you. I don't know if you can read it. That says visit Lose Touch on YouTube. And then underneath it, see the first line is a lot bigger, so that's what that says, visit Lose Touch. Then the second line is bigger than these lines, and less than that one. And it says, I stand with and for Jesus Christ. This is an introduction card. That's the way I'm seeing it, okay? So then you've got these little lines. Notice how I've got it. I worked hard to get just the right amount of characters and to say just what I wanted to say. It's pretty cool. All right, so this first line is something that Jesus said. Jesus said it to his apostles when he sent them out to go teach. Be wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. I've been talking about slogans lately. That's one of mine because it came from him and I love it. Be wise as a serpent. You know, you kind of have to know. You have to know them a little bit, but you want to be harmless as a dove. Okay, so then the next line is the title of my paper that I wrote 43 years ago. It's called Turn On Your Light So You Are Not in the Dark. These lines have quotation marks at each end. One, because it makes it more important. Jesus said that, be wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. Then I wrote a paper called Turn On Your Light So You Are Not in the Dark. So if you put that in the search bar, and you always have to include on, lose, touch. Lou is spelled L-O-U''S space touch, T-O-U-C-H. Okay, so then the third line down on the bottom, it says my email, and then it says donate to my Cash App, and it gives you my Cash App address. You could just get on there if you got Cash App, and you could, I don't know if you can use something else, but you can send me money to Cash App. It's got a dollar mark, and then it's Lose Touch, all little letters. So the $, and then Lose Touch. No apostrophe. This is just all little letters without the apostrophe. But my email address, it gives my email address, and then, so the email address is mlp54@icloud.com. At icloud.com. And then it says donate to my Cash App, Lose Touch. So anyway, here's the back. See how it goes from side to side? Pretty much. I worked on getting the right words, and I didn't get everything on here. There was other things I wanted to put on here, but I don't remember what they are right now. I just thought this turned out really good. Blues Magical Brew, made with RSO. Relieves pain, promotes blood flow, makes lovemaking extraordinary. Follow the ramblings of Blue's brain. What does she think? Let her explain. That's what that says. So anyway, I love it. And I worked a long time getting, because I had so many characters that I could use. Meaning I could make what I'm trying to say, I could say it better with more letters. But then what did I want to say? I was having a hard time with that. Yeah. Anyway, it's the truth. Follow the ramblings of Blue's brain, because I do that quite a bit. I ramble on, and then we'll see what I said. Anyway, what does she think? Let her explain. Yeah, because that's the deal. You got to give someone time to explain, and you just can't explain some things in little teeny, here it is, and that's how it is. No. It's kind of like saying that things are black and white when they're not. They're gray. There's gray areas. There's not always a set in stone circumstance. Anyway, I probably should get off here. It's 52 minutes, almost 53. And I do need to go get some real food. My head wants to give me a headache. We don't want that. No headaches. I was listening to something about metformin this morning, though, and Barbara O'Neill. It was an ad, okay? It was an ad on Facebook. And so it starts out with Elon Musk. Then it goes to Barbara O'Neill. And then it goes to, I don't know if it goes to somebody else, but she's doing all the talking. And it's about this herbal supplement that will get rid of diabetes in 17 days. I don't know, man. They got these things make you want to try. I definitely want to try. So they're saying you can reverse diabetes, that you don't have to be. And it's true, these medicines that we take are, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, they're covering up. They're managing the symptoms, but the diabetes part is still going on. I probably didn't say that very well. But any old hero, people, it's Sunday. I should have been reading. I should have been reading the scriptures. But instead, I'm rambling on, like I just talked about. I do ramble. So what was I talking about? Anything special? Just we need to do the best with the time we've got. to improve ourselves. The only thing you're taking with you is your memories, your brain. You know, your brain, the physical part's going to stay here, but your essence, your everything, you know, they're saying, I mean, I've heard it. Wondering how you're going to be judged and if you're going to be judged fairly or whatever. But it was just put out there that maybe your eyes and your ears, everything that's going through this brain is going with you. And it can be a movie camera or a movie projector so you can see your life on the screen. One of the things I was taught about hell is, you know, hell's a state of mind. And when it's all said and done, hell is going to be knowing what we could have had and we didn't go after it. And I'm talking about the celestial kingdom, living your life worthy to go into the celestial kingdom. And also, when you're given the chance, when you're given the opportunity to know, you need to grab it. So I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Just in the chance that someone might hear me that needs it. Everybody needs it, okay? But what I'm trying to say is they're looking for it. They are lost and they are looking for the truth. Going forward. The truth is, there's a whole lot more to this life than we know. Worlds without number. But you have a chance just like anybody else. No one is any better than you or any worse than you. You have a chance to grab on to the truth and to get your life better. Make your life better. You know where you're headed. Find joy in what you've got, especially if there's any way. You know, they say if love existed once in your marriage, you should be able to get it back, but I don't know. I don't think you can come back from some things. But when you know love never existed, then you don't need to worry about it. That's how I feel. I don't think that I've ever experienced true love. I mean, really true love. Hopefully I will still have time to enjoy that. I hope so. Nevertheless, where am I? Okay, 48, 39, 58. I mean, 58, 39. I need to do better, people. And any of you guys wanting to take the advice, here's the baking soda. But I forget to take it. And it alkalizes your system. And then one of the things I just bought, I bought a shaker cup. And then I bought Super Greens. It's I'm not sure all the things that's in it, but it's got 50 superfoods, and they're calling it grains, so hopefully it has more grains than fruit. And then it has mushrooms in it. Not psychedelic, but mushrooms. Mushrooms are supposed to be really good for you. Psychedelic ones too, but you wouldn't want to have that in your food. I mean, some of us would buy it pre-done, you know, a mushroom powder for a drink. That'd be cool. Instead of having to eat the mushrooms. But anyway, this drink, I just got it the other day, and I've taken it a couple, 3 times now. it's cool because you can put it in cold water, or I put it in milk the last time. It tasted really good. So you put your 10 to 12 ounces of milk or water or whatever beverage you want in there. Then you put in a scoop of this super grains, but it's a powder, and it tastes like chocolate. So that wouldn't go with everything. I just had something I was watching in my head. It's way off the base. I bought some of the ingredients. I don't know if we can find them all to make a Hawaiian bread. Now, let me rephrase that. It's like banana nut bread, but you add also a can of crushed pineapple. So you've got a mix of banana and pineapple. And I love pineapple. I love banana nut bread, but I don't necessarily love bananas. But nevertheless, it just looks so good. And quite a while ago, it came through on my Facebook feed, and I'm going, oh, that looks really nummy. So we bought some flour and one can of crushed pineapple, and I got some bananas. But I don't know what the other part of the recipe is. But we got to find a pan to put it in, and then we got to get the recipe and make sure that I have everything else. I was telling her, I says, well, if you got baking soda or baking powder, because I didn't know what kind of flour to got. I just went ahead and got all-purpose flour. But I think in that you have to add in the baking soda or baking powder. But nevertheless, it just sounds really good. So I should go see if I can find the stuff to go in it. I don't like looking for stuff. It makes me dizzy. And I've already passed an hour. I'm bad. Okay, you know what? I could stop.